The finalists for the Outstanding Individual Achievement Award are Adrian Ashton.
I'm Adrian Ashton, and I ended up in Calderdale about 20 years ago. After the kind of cataclysmic 2015 floods, my family and I were made homeless for about a year. Working with our builders, we decided to experiment with the recovery of our home. And we put in a flooring, which up to that point, you could only find in California or Dubai. It's kind of that revolutionary. And in a 17th century stone cottage, we're kind of really experimenting with showing what's possible in Calderdale. The house became a showcase, so it's featured in national publications about flood resilience and flood recovery now. So it's influenced a lot of other practice around the country to say, this is how, when more and more people are at risk of flooding, you can keep your home and your family safer. Calderdale Council, to their credit, said we need to help businesses get back on their feet. But in the Calder Valley, most of the businesses are home-based or hidden. We don't have commercial premises. Loads of businesses, loads of livelihoods were now suddenly at risk, couldn't get access to the support that was intended for them. So I worked with the foundation, with the council, with the local business network to gather the evidence and the stories, and the council kind of changed the criteria as a result.
George Pickles.
I'm George Pickles, born in Halifax in 1944. I was at Newcastle University, enjoyed it hugely, and got a post then at Cardiff University, and I came back to Calderdale for the summer. I then became involved in Nathaniel Waterhouse almshouses. I did get trapped. It gradually began to influence me on the fact that such almshouses were incredibly useful in today's age. Many people don't understand what they are, but they were an early example, dating back 1,000 years, to social housing. The world had changed since these charities had been set up. It was no longer abject poverty, but what we came across a lot, and still do, is the level of isolation that older people suffer from. The greatest use of the charity was to help people who were isolated. It got them together in a community. They could retain their privacy, but they were no longer isolated. I will continue to think very, very fondly of the work the trustees, myself and other people did in those almshouses, because it feels to have been worthwhile. They're not second houses, they're not Airbnbs, they're houses you can rent if you live in that area. And we need far more of that. I'd like to be influential as far as I can be in continuing that kind of attitude, because that's what we need.
Kathleen Harrison.
I've been associated with the band for a long, long time, in excess of 70 years. Originally as a player, and then in 1983 the band was due to fold due to the lack of members. I'd just had a new baby, so it was a little bit difficult, but me and my father, who also had long connections with the band, we decided we can't let this band fold because its history goes back to about 1850. So we took on the role of me as secretary and my dad as treasurer. And from that day on, we built it up and built it up until it is now what it is today. We now have 6 bands within the organisation. I see a role as a volunteer, as it being purely volunteer. You give your time free and your energies and your skills or whatever, you give for free, which is what I've done going on for now 40 odd years now.
Melanie Rumble.
So I'm Mel and I'm the coordinator for Our Place. We run 3 sessions a week for older people, people with dementia, people with mental health difficulties, physical disabilities, people that are struggling with the cost of living crisis, people that are just a bit lonely, a bit bored, got nowhere else to go, and they just come for a meal, company, entertainment. It was set up by a lady called Jackie Stark, and my mum worked for Jackie. She took it on 33 years ago, and then I got involved 28 years ago, started as a volunteer, and now I'm in charge. When I'm at the sessions, it's probably running around in a dinosaur suit or dressed up as a character from something. It's doing quizzes, it's doing the entertainment, speaking to anyone that's struggling, trying to support them, trying to pass them on to other things. The rest of my time is planning, fundraising, because we don't get any core funding, so everything we raise is how the service continues. I get to have fun, which is a bit selfish, but I have a really good laugh and I put my craziness onto other people. I get to see the difference that it's made. I get to see people change. I get to see smiley faces at the end of the sessions, so you know that what you've done is good.